Hi, YouTubies. It's me, Zachary Michael. Also, hi, hello. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Today's reaction is a follow-up to yesterday because I was just really intrigued. Everybody kept bringing up, and by everybody I mean mostly Maya in the chat, but people kept bringing up the elf on the shelf and how much time Kira has devoted to it and how much time she spent on it and how it's like her whole life and her whole job is to take care of this elf and move this elf around. And I was like, I'm gonna need more context. Please, not me getting the blame. I'm always gonna give the blame where blame is due, Diva. Uh, but Maya was the one that shared this video with me for context. That's just me giving credit where credit is due, I think. So we're gonna speed her up because it is a 43-minute long video about the elf on the shelf. Yeah, also maybe we should do this. Check in. Are y'all familiar with the elf on the shelf? Do y'all know about Miss Ma'am? About Miss Thing? She's only recently a popular thing. Elf on the Shelf didn't exist. If you got kids at home, I'm gonna ruin the fantasy about Elf on the Shelf. He didn't exist when I was a kid. Elf on the Shelf is a way to normalize state surveillance for young people. Because the whole idea is that the elf is moving around your house, watching the kids, keeping track of the kids, making sure they're behaving. Which honestly, same vibes as Santa as well, if we're being honest. Isn't Santa allegedly already watching, sees you when you're sleeping? Why do we need elf? Thank you. Thank you. A little bit louder next time. My mom has a whole collection of antique elves, so let me just say that the design of the elf isn't new, but the state surveillance aspect is new. Okay, good to know. Our elf on the shelf was the constant fear that no matter what you were doing, a mysterious bearded man was watching you, either God or Santa. Either one was scary. Well, I did have a friend who used to say that God was just Santa for grown-ups. And honestly, that is kind of a vibe for me and my family. For me and my family, that's kind of just a vibe. If you're young enough to believe in the elf on the shelf, get out of here. Kind of tea. Kind of tea. But I do know sometimes people with children watch my videos. Okay, so the other thing is that, like, it could also just be, like, a cute, like, oh, here's the elf, and it moves around the house every night, so you have to wake up and you gotta go find where it moved to this morning. It could just be as easy as that, but parents in this day and age, they all have to one-up each other. They all have to be the best. They all do these, like, stupid little setups and pranks and arts and crafts and phony baloney, and it's just like, oh, wow, this is really a full-time job. It's really too much. They got to make it hee hee and ha ha, and it could just be real simple, but they don't. For some reason, we can't do that. And you, as in the children, can't touch the elf, right? Correct. You will be shocked, stunned, flabbergasted at the amount of work she's putting into the elf's presence in her home. Well, I think it's about time we find out. I think it's about time we find out, chat. So, chat, if you're ready, could you put some 69s in the chat? Could you do that for me and my family? I'm so glad my kids are old enough to help the magic happen. True. It does help sometimes when you got some other helpers. For sure, for sure. Jamie, thank you for the lip emotes. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. Divas? Wait. Divas? Wait. Divas? Okay. My sexy chicken queen, how are we doing? I do feel like we got to keep the sexy chicken queen stuff to a limit today, because sexy chicken queen is talking about the elf on the shelf, which is, I hope, a completely separate interest and topic for her, you know? Like, I hope elf on the shelf doesn't have any overlap with 50 Shades of Chicken. I hope. I hope. All right, let's get to.
It's time I pass my secrets on to you.
Yes, pass them on, baby.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Kira, if you are new, and today I am sharing a very, very special video,
Wait until ZM finds out how elves are born? How are they born? How are they born? And how are they born? When a mommy elf and a daddy elf love each other very much, don't they hatch or something? Well, when a mommy elf loves it... But how do they really?
is a very sensitive subject, so we just need to make sure there are no little tiny influential ears within earshot of this video. So make sure that if you're a mom and you have young kids, that you have an earbud in, or that you're listening when it's just yourself. This way we don't spoil any magic of Christmas. Because today I want to share with you all the secrets of our little friends. So I'd like you to meet Franklin and Jax. These are our elves. They landed at our house on November 27th of 2017. So this is my 9th season with, well, not technically these two. This is only our 2nd year with Jax. Jax showed up 2 years ago on Christmas Eve.
That's not how... She said they showed up in 2017? Wait, if it was 2017, wouldn't that... Is that 9 seasons? Listen, let's not do math. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm stupid. It doesn't matter. I'm stupid. How old are her kids? She has one that's 21 who actually lives with her parents now. She has a second... She just, in a video, listed their ages. I think Mason is 12 and Maya is 9. What's in my 3 kids' stockings? 21, 12, and 9.
He is Franklin's brother, and he was promoted to being eligible to watch over little kids. And so for the last year, the two of them were causing mischief together, and now they're back for their 2nd season to cause some mischief together. But Franklin has been with us for the full 9 years, and Franklin is retiring this year. So...
I don't want to be, it really doesn't matter, but 2025 minus 2017. Am I stupid right now? I'm pulling up the calculator app on the keyboard, because 2025 minus 2017 is 8. It's 8. It's 8 years, but 9 Christmases. But you're missing the first one. Count on your fingers. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on.
I have 3 kids, but my oldest is 21, and my 2 middle kids, Mason is going to be 12 on December 10th, and Maya will be 10 in June, so she's 9.5.
Right? Oh, the way I could have also just waited and she would have said that. Zach, if you would have just waited.
Yeah, so we are beyond pushing the realm of the magic of Christmas and the thought upon these elves.
Or do 9-year-olds not believe in the magic of Christmas? This is your 37th Christmas, but you are 36. Okay, T. That makes sense. That makes sense.
I really felt like I wanted to do something special this year since we're going to make this our last year. So we're actually going to throw a retirement party for Franklin on December 24th. We're going to do like a little thing here, like an hour. I told all of our friends and everybody that we know to come, just so that we can do this little retirement party for him. We're going to go over that when we get to the schedule, but I have some great ideas on how.
You're inviting friends over for a retirement party of your. I do appreciate the whimsy. I do kind of appreciate the whimsy. Isn't it? Is Carly here? She's always the one saying that whimsy saves lives.
We're going to kind of send him off. And then I even thought, if by some chance it upsets Maya, I always could have Jax, who's still promoted to be able to monitor children during this time of year. Maybe he can pop in next year for Maya from time to time, but it's not going to be a daily thing. It might only be once a week, just to let her know he's still watching, kind of thing. But that's only if this upsets her. Otherwise, my goal is it to be that Franklin retires and Jax can show up on occasion. So today,
but why was Mason allowed to have the elf until 12, but Maya has to stop at 9?
Today, what I wanted to go over with you guys is, if this is a family tradition that you have inside of your house, then I would love for you to listen up. I have been, like I said, this is my 9th season, and
she said, listen up, I'm an expert. You better pay attention.
I've learned so much over the years that I figured I would pass on to you guys. I know this is a tradition that is going to probably go on for a really long time. I saw a whole bunch of new things coming out this year, so at least it's not ending anytime soon. And so why not better way than to show you guys how I plan for it and the things that I have to execute for this particular year. And then if you guys do not follow me on Instagram, go follow me, because I pretty much have like a zillion ideas that I posted. I always kind of post for like up until like the 15th through the 20th, and then it starts to get crazy, and then I don't go on Instagram and share the last of them. I think last year I shared a lot of like, oh, here's what you missed last year for inspiration kind of thing, but I generally take a picture every day and then share it on Instagram. And if I'm vlogging, then you guys will see, throughout the day. But the first thing that I do is I start off in my phone. So I'm going to share with you guys in my little notes section on my phone.
Does anybody here do the elf? She's such an expert on elf ideas that she took all of her ideas from Pinterest. Well, Maya, that's not surprising to me, because her and Vanessa and Nicole Burgess made a whole cookbook full of recipes that you could find on Pinterest. Just so we're on the same page. I forgot she was sped up and was like, damn girl, breathe. I have Snoop on a stoop for me. That really is state surveillance, because did you see Snoop Dogg perform at Trump's inauguration? He's an agent of the state. I do the elf, but I just hide the elf and the kids look for it. No pranks, no gifts, nothing crazy, just hide and seek. T.
I literally have one listed as Franklin. So I'm going to bring this up and screen record. This way it can go up on the screen as we're talking, and you guys will be able to follow along with me. But since Franklin shows up on the 27th every year, for every family, it's different. Sometimes families have him show up on Thanksgiving. Sometimes they have a specific day. The little book that the elf comes with allows you to write down the day that they first came to your house. And so we have it written down. Ironic.
What is this? A little bit, yeah.
This year, though, it shows up on Thanksgiving. So the 27th falls on Thanksgiving, so my elves will show up on Thanksgiving morning. But I think that's only happened one other time in our 9 years that we've been doing this. Otherwise, it's usually around here, but it never is quite the same. So this is the same thing I've been using for the last, gosh, how many years? And it just is titled Franklin, and then it's listed the 27th all the way through to the 24th of December. And then this way.
Now diva girl. Now, you already got your 360p potato phone out recording this. Girl, ain't nobody can read that. Not a single one of us. Well, I can, kind of. You can't probably. I can. Okay, so it says, we are back, glow sticks, Domino's pizza, toilet paper butt crack, books, advent calendars, jelly bean burrito, gas man. I'm sure she's going to go into it more. But it's so hard to read.
Each year, as I'm coming up with ideas, I plug them in, and I'll always put what day of the week that the 27th falls on. And so this year I didn't mark it because I already know it falls on a Thursday since it's Thanksgiving, but then it helps me follow along. This way, if we want to do something pizza related, then we're going to do something that Friday or a Friday that I already know, like where the days fall, if that makes sense. Sometimes we do Taco Tuesday references or a hump day reference. So it's kind of important to know what day we're at in the realm of things. So I usually start off by putting that off to the side. Again, this year I didn't do that. And then as I go along, I literally just list all of the things that I'm going to do each and every day, and then I'll check it off as I go, just in case I fall asleep or something one day and I didn't get to execute everything the way I wanted to. I always have something that's quick and fallback I can do the next morning, and then I might have to pivot and move it for a different day. So I always put that little green check mark next to everything soon as we're done with it. So this year, like I said, since they come on Thanksgiving, I wanted to do something really fun for the kids. And so part of my inspiration, a lot of it comes from research on the internet or Pinterest or something like that. Even if some
research on the internet. A lot of my ideas come from research on the internet. Here's the other thing. I do think there's probably a world where this kind of content is helpful, but this is very reminiscent of like I already said, her cooking content. Is that it's not her original idea, which like maybe there's a world where this is helpful, but it's just interesting. It's just interesting.
He's posted on Instagram, as long as they've hashtagged it. If you do go onto the internet and you just research like, oh, I'm looking for elf on the shelf ideas, tons of things will pop up. I never quite take exactly what someone does. I always just kind of use that as inspiration, and then I go off on my own thing. Every once in a while it might be close, but for the most part I just try and use it as something that inspires me, and then I go off and do my own thing. So I'm going to pop up the picture here that I saw for inspiration, because the first thing that we're doing on Thanksgiving is glow sticks. So I had seen one somebody made, you'll see in the picture, like a little snowman out of a glow stick, and it said like snow time or something along those lines, and I thought it would be really cool just to put like we're back in the glow sticks and tape them to our Thanksgiving wall. So I found this on Amazon. It was like $10, and it's 200 glow sticks. So each of these packs are 100 glow sticks. It actually said that it came from Party City.
No, see, I do know that she did this because I do follow her on Instagram, and she showed herself waking up in the morning to do it. She showed herself waking up in the morning to do it in the middle of the night. But then by the time it was the morning when her kids woke up, it was daylight out. So like the glow wasn't glowing, you know?
They're closed down, so the overflow probably got sent to Amazon. And so I'm going to take these, and what I think is I'm going to leave our turkey like set up, or maybe our turkey platter or something like that, and then have one of them like sitting on the turkey platter, and then the other one hanging off our chandelier over the Thanksgiving table. So the table will be all set for Thanksgiving, and one will be hanging from it, and the other one will be sitting on the Thanksgiving platter, and then on the wall it'll have these glow sticks that say like we're back. So I'm really excited. I think the kids are going to get a kick out of that, and I don't think I'll need all 200. So it'll be, I can like leave a little basket of them, and the kids can have fun on Thanksgiving with glow sticks. They can, you know, maybe build something out of it and stuff like that. So I thought that would be fun for them. So that is day one, which is Thursday.
I'm assuming the 12-year-old knows, right? Girl, I have no idea. I have no idea.
And usually we have leftovers, obviously, for dinner. Italian, and I cook like a beast for every holiday, and so we always have leftovers that day after. But I wanted to do something fun with a Pizza Friday. So one thing I've built over the years, let me pivot this way, because when I tell you I literally
pivot. We're pivoting
over the floor to show you guys. I brought our little door. So I found this, I don't even know where I found this, but this is the door that they come in. So whatever room that they're in, I relocate this to a wall so that the kids think that this is how they enter in and out this way. So this is our little magical door. And then this, you guys, is my giant elf on the shelf bin. And so I'll take a little footage, and then I'll just put in some footage over us talking right now of what is actually inside of my bin. But I mean, I have everything down to our pets. I keep them in here because the pets always show up. They'll be on the table that morning, and I hid them because last year it was impossible to find them. But
they got pets. See, the other thing that I've always felt in particular, as somebody who's watched Kira for a very long time, is that Elf on a Shelf has always been also a reason for her to buy some shit. It's always been a reason for her to buy some shit. With her specifically. Like, back when she was really out and about doing the Dollar Tree hauls more regularly, she'd be like, oh, I was out at the Dollar Tree and I thought I could do something with this for Elf on the Shelf. I thought I could do this. I thought I could use this. Blah, 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 blah. Prediction for next time we watch her, how many times will she mention that she's Italian? For sure.
In here, I have all of my supplies, like everything. This is stuff I shoved in here last year. I have like these little thrones that they both sit on.
Right, like you don't got to
like,
do that.
Sleigh. I think I'm going to put all this on like Facebook Market or donate it when I'm done. But one of the things I'm doing for this is his pizza party costume. So Izzy got this for Franklin years ago, especially because we were working at Matangas, so she thought that was super cute that he had a pizza costume. And so you can tell they're dressed. They're not normally like this. They're just in clothes that come off. And so Franklin usually wears the...
Like that's like... I'm sorry, that's team too much. I do appreciate that she brought up the old Matangas. If you don't know anything about her, she's currently in some, like, legal drama with Matangas, which is a pizza place that used to employ her. So there's that. The little clothes are cute. But I don't know. I think one thing about the holidays that is interesting to me as somebody who doesn't have kids, and when I think about my experience as a kid growing up, maybe I didn't really notice this, but I have to imagine that, like, I don't know, you think about all the kids, like, I feel like on TikTok it's been really big this year that, like, creators have been going out and, like, doing angel tree gifts and stuff like that. We even watched Erin from Hey Everybody. She talked about getting, like, an angel tree kid or family and getting them gifts and stuff. And it's just, like, I love and appreciate that, like, people do all of this for their kids. I'm sure there's lots of kids that would love to have this. But then that's also my thought is, like, that's just, like, so wild that there's some houses, and that's not necessarily on Kira, that's just on capitalism, classism, the state of the world, you know? But just, I don't know, it just feels like so excessive to be doing all of this when there are, like, kids that don't have this, you know? Not to say that, like, her children shouldn't have, like, the best Christmas that they can have. I think a lot of it is for the parents, but they take it too far and then can resent it. Well, the other thing I'm thinking of is, like, even my brother and sister-in-law, I remember they wanted to get more for my nephews, but they knew that if they said that all of those gifts were from Santa, that whenever their kids were talking to other kids who might not have as much, that might look weird. So then they just started saying, like, oh, here are the 3 gifts that Santa brought you. The rest of these gifts are from your mom and dad. Which, like, also makes sense anyways, because why wouldn't your mom and dad get you gifts for Christmas? Right? So anyways, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just rambling. The Elf on the Shelf does feel like a product of consumerism, though, of capitalism.
Little pizza costume, and the joke and the play off of this is I saw something that said, like, hey, we brought you Domino's pizza.
Well, right, Maya. Gifts from Santa is low-key like prosperity gospel. Like, okay, I guess Santa likes some kids more than others. Yeah, I think that's like what my brother and sister-in-law were worried about, is like this mysterious magical man doesn't love you any more or less than he might love other kids who are less fortunate than we are.
And it was a tortilla with a whole bunch of Domino's on it, and it was supposed to be like a play off a joke off of Domino's pizza. But I took that one step
Domino's
further.
pizza.
I bought Domino's, almost impossible to find. Nobody sells Domino's anymore. I got these for $5 off of Amazon. Maybe kids will play with it after, or it'll go into the donation.
I'm sure this is my own hair, but I just pulled this hair out of my mouth.
Bin for Franklin, but I did pick up these Domino's, and then I went right inside of a Domino's and said, hey, I'm doing something for Elf on the Shelf and I really could use a box. Would you mind giving me an empty pizza box? So they gave me just a plain old empty Domino's pizza box, right? And so my vision is I'm going to open this up and we're going to stack the little Domino's all inside this box, and it's going to say, hey, we brought you Domino's pizza, right? And it's going to be, that's super funny, right? Because they're going to see the Domino's box and they're going to lift it up and they're going to see if there's Domino's pizza in there, right? And I think they're going to think that that's super funny. But since the kids are still going to be home for vacation, one of the things that the kids love are these crazy puffs that come from Little Caesars. They are, the Philly cheesesteak Crazy Puffs are literally...
Love a Crazy Puff. The Crazy Puff is what made Barb beep.
They're literally outstanding. They're so delicious. I don't really like anything else that comes from there, but those Crazy Puffs are fire. So we're going to set up the Domino's inside of the box and say, hey, we brought you Domino's pizza. But then
also, have we talked about how I, like, for a while when I was poor in college, lived off of the $5 hot and ready pizzas? Because it was really at least, for my fat ass, it was like at least 2 meals. It could have been more, but I was a fat ass. So.
The kids lift up the box. This is going to be taped there, and it's going to say, nah, just kidding, go get Little Caesars instead. I only got a $15 gift card, so we could not all eat dinner on $15, but I'm going to make these things into little crazy faces so that it's Crazy Puffs on the bottom of there, and it'll say, nah, just kidding, go get yourself some Crazy Puffs, and the kids can have that for lunch the next day, since we are going to do leftovers for dinner. So this I thought would be a cute little, you know, inspiration and play off of that one that I had already found, but I thought that was super cute with the whole pizza concept. So
also, when did Elf on the Shelf become about the elves bringing gifts too? Is the other thing. That's the other, like, that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. Little Caesars is so good when you don't have a bitch in your ear telling you it's gross, especially the cheese sauce. I don't know anything about the cheese sauce, but I do agree. I do think when I was little, when I was younger, they used to have Little Caesars and Kmart's. And when my parents would go shop at the Kmart, they would get that Little Caesars. That Little Caesars was gross. They've definitely made some upgrades. Not that it's, like, outstanding, but the Little Caesars back in, like, the 90s, early 2000s tasted like cardboard.
And the next one is just a joke. So let me bring up my Pinterest so that I can actually, I'm already going to pop these pictures up for you to see, but I'm not looking at them right now. So let me bring it up so I can read the joke for myself. But a couple of them were funny, and I had found some silly jokes. And it shows Franklin, or an elf, sitting next to some toilet paper, and it says, why didn't the toilet paper cross the road? It got stuck in a crack. Your butt crack. Now my kids, again, are almost 10 and 12. So I thought that they're going to get a kick out of stuff like that, but I wanted to make it really silly. So I bought one of these boards. This was $20 off of Amazon, but I'm going to use it a million times over.
I love butt crack jokes. That's funny. That's funny to me and my family. Indiana has cheese sauce. You know what? Big Juicy Naturals. When I lived in Indiana, though, we always got the little 5 deals from Pizza X. From Pizza X. And they had cheese sauce. And I would dip my breadsticks in it. The little 5 deal at Pizza X, at least when I was there, was like a bag of breadsticks, a soda, and 2 dipping sauces of your choice. And I think I did usually get at least 1 cheese sauce for my dipping sauce.
Because none of these like felt letter boards that I have are this good quality. It came with a stand, or you can hang it. It has like the hook on the back. If you want to hang it, but I'm just gonna boom, keep it on a little pedestal. And then it came with, for the $21 or whatever, it came with a little pouch to keep all of your letters and stuff in. And then it came with a million zillion like letters, and it also has like different like a question mark and a hashtag and a star and a moon and a heart and a flower and numbers and all the...
How much do you reckon how much do y'all reckon that she spent on just Elf on the Shelf nonsense? Because it seems like a lot.
And I'm totally going to be able to have so much fun with that board, and so I'm just going to put them in there sitting next to that in the bathroom, lit up with that little joke thing. Some of them are going to be simple, and like I said, those are for audible days. There are days where sometimes it's just crazy for work. Like yesterday I worked 13.5 hours, and so when I...
Those are for audible days. What does that mean? Like days you can hear? What would an audible day be? Yeah, like the book service? Girl, I don't know.
I'm home, I was exhausted. Who's going to want to just start building Franklin things, right? I don't always want to. So I have things that are simple like that, that I can be able to just go ahead and use on the fly. On the 30th, I always...
An audible is a football term? Calling an audio day is a football. Wait. Calling an audible To call an audible means to change a plan at the last minute in response to new information or changing circumstances. It's borrowed from the American football where the quarterback changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Well, there you go. First your money, then your clothes. I don't know shit about fuck when it comes to sports, so you learn something. Well, I do know a little bit about fuck when it comes to, like, gay softball, gay volleyball, pickleball. We're the learning channel over here.
Leave books for the kids so that they can read books every single night from the 1st until the 24th. So I usually make like a tower of some kind of all the books stacked up with them sitting there saying, hey, read a book every night. But I need to be honest with our schedules. For the last few years, it just didn't work out where we were able to sit and read with them. So I did save, which I'll pull over here, all of their Elf Pet books. I got rid of and donated all the rest of them, but these are all the Elf Pet books. So I will leave these because I thought it would be fun to at least reread the Elf story ones on nights that I have opportunities to read with the kids. But what I ended up doing, and I'll pop that picture up right here for you guys, is I bought a audiobook, like a Christmas story, that's about an hour and a half. We get about 15 minutes in the morning of uninterrupted time when we're all getting ready, when I'm not filming lunches and things like that. So I thought it would be kind of fun. It's like a Christmas murder mystery, and I thought the kids would really like that. If that's something we can put on our stereo in the kitchen, and while we're all getting ready, it might be fun for all of us to listen to that audiobook together, because it's a guarantee we're all going to be together in the morning, every morning, because we're getting ready for school. So I thought maybe for 15 minutes we can get everybody's attention each morning, and it'd be kind of exciting for something for us to look forward to.
Love a Christmas murder mystery. Nothing says happy holidays like people getting murdered.
The next morning. So he's going to bring them the books, and then on his letter he's just going to say, you know, hey, tell mama check her phone, I have a really cool surprise on there, you know, hook it up to the stereo in the morning and listen to a book with your family. So I thought that would be kind of fun for us to do. And then on the first,
no, it is not my family's tradition to listen to stories about murder during the holidays.
Kids always get their advent calendars. That's like a staple for us. So I forgot that on top of all the Elf on the Shelf shenanigans, they do advent calendars too. I forgot. You know, I don't think that Kira takes the advent calendars to the same level that Vanessa, Lemonade Mom, does. Because Lemonade Mom used to do like 5 different purchased advent calendars, and then she would do her own homemade advent calendar for her kids. Just wild. I think I said this recently. I saw that Shauna Rapari posted a video about like the overconsumption of advent calendars. I still haven't watched that video, but I absolutely 100% agree about advent calendars. Like, why? Why do we need so many? Why can't we just go back to when an advent calendar meant you opened a little chocolate treat once a day? Franklin is bringing the rave of all the century. It is the K-pop Demon Hunters Advent Calendar 2025. She is going to go bonkers over this. Franklin always gets all the credit, and he's going to be the coolest elf, even though this was Mom who ordered this in September for her to have this for now. But
well, the tea is that you don't have to give Franklin credit. You could just say, hey, this is from me, if you want that credit, Diva. If you want that credit, you could just say, hey, this is from your mom.
And needless to say, that's the one that Maya has. And then again, sticking with that murder mystery theme, I thought this would be really fun. I got Mason a clue advent calendar, and like each day is a different clue and a different like little object that takes you to the next thing for you to solve and get the prize at the end. So I thought that was kind of fun. And it's a
what is the murder mystery theme we got going on?
It's family interactive. So if we finish the audiobook in time, like we'll have all of this, or maybe we'll have time to include both in those things that time that we're getting ready to do together. The kids usually get up extra early during this time of year because they know that they have to look for Franklin and that sometimes he leaves them activities and stuff. So they always get up a little bit earlier. So maybe we'll have time to do those things. But that is what he's bringing for them advent calendar wise, which I'm super excited about. Okay. So next, when my husband went into the Dollar Tree to get some sodas for our slushie machine, I had him grab me some jelly beans, because at this point now we are...
Wait. To get some sodas for your slushy machine. Tell me more about that, Diva. We're putting sodies. Well, first of all, you got a slushy machine, and second of all, you're putting sodies in them. All right, Diva. I respect your game.
At December the 2nd, which will be a Tuesday, so a play off of our Taco Tuesday. We're taking out all the red and green jelly beans from here, and we're just gonna roll them up in a tortilla and say, hey, brought you a bean burrito for your Taco Tuesday.
A play off of Taco Tuesday. Girl, A burrito, a jelly bean filled burrito is not the taco. She wants everything to be Taco Tuesday. Zach, you got me saying sody. Good.
The kids love Taco Tuesday. We literally do something Tex-Mex every Tuesday in our meal plan because the kids are obsessed with doing something for Taco Tuesday. So I thought that would be pretty cute for him to bring them a bean burrito, and it's just a play off of some red and green jelly beans.
Oh, I'll give
so that's what
you
we're
a
doing on the
bean
second.
burrito, Kira.
For the third, okay, this one I'll pop up again. It's just something funny. Daryl's wallet will be right next to our little alphabet board, and it said, "I farted in your dad's wallet. Now he has gas money." My kids are gonna lose it. Like, they are gonna lose it. They're gonna tease Daryl that his like wallet is stinky and all of that. Like, I think that's gonna
Let's be clear. Daryl probably is stinky. He looks like he just took a fart. Have you seen? Have you seen? He looks like he just took a fart, and JD Vance smells like he just took a fart. Looks like he just smelled a fart. Also, though, oh, y'all heard about Bronwyn from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Oh, her and Todd split. I told you it's a bad year for Todd's in the Bravo universe. I just posted on my Instagram story a post where it was like announcing that they split, but it was a picture of them together, and somebody quote tweeted it and said, "Oh, Todd is 100% farting in this picture."
be so funny. Again, I have younger children that are not so young that it's inappropriate. It's old enough for them that they are just going to lose their minds. And farts are funny to everyone of all ages.
Farts are hilarious.
Okay, next is Pringle Bells.
I do agree. Farts are fucking funny. If you can't laugh at a fart joke, honey.
So I'm going to pop the picture up here for that one. So I saw the cute little inspiration for the Pringle Bells. And so while I was at the Dollar Tree, I just picked up a red and green Pringles so that we can go ahead.
Girl, those aren't Pringles. Girl, how are you going to do Pringle Bells and not get actual Pringles? Girl, those aren't Pringles, girl.
And do the funny Pringle Bells thing. I thought that was kind of silly, and my kids will just love the fact that they can take the potato chips with them to school that day. So I thought that was sweet. And then this one I threw in because of the retirement party, so you guys will kind of understand when we get to that, but I needed a picture of the kids with the elves. So in here, I don't know where, I would have to dig them out, but in here, like from one of Mason's birthday parties, since his birthday is in December, I have like those props that you use to take pictures, and you hold it up and it's like a Santa beard and like a hat, Santa hat, those kinds of things. I'm gonna leave those props out and the elves, and I'm gonna set them up in a way for the kids to take a selfie with their elfie. I thought that would be super, super cute. We did that years back before. He left them socks that said selfie on them, and it was like a picture of him taking a picture of himself. And so I did like, oh, take a selfie with your elfie with their socks on. And so they did that years ago. Like we were living in the rental. So that was like 5-6 years ago already that we did that. But I need a good photo of them that's recent from now with the elves. So I'm gonna make like some kind of fun photo backdrop and stuff and set them up so the kids can't touch them, but they can put their faces in and take some fun photos where they can take a selfie with their elfie, so I can use it for the retirement party. So you guys will see that.
Sure.
And then, okay, some more days until Christmas. Where do I have that, Jen? So I planned this for a Saturday night. I'm generally off on Sundays. Daryl's off on the weekends, and he likes to build a fire on.
She really going through her whole fucking outline. All right, Diva, let's go. Life is hard. If we can't have a little hee hee ha ha and a little pee pee poo poo toot toot, then what is even the point? No, I feel that.
The weekends with the kids, and so I thought we can do the s'more day till Christmas. Like, how many days until Christmas? 7 s'more days until, or whatever. And so this is on the 6th, and so whatever you're gonna say, like 18 s'more days until Christmas. And then I got the graham crackers from Trader Joe's, and then from Target I got the little Hershey Santas. I thought those would be fun. Like, since
girl, you don't have to explain to me what a s'more is or show me the ingredients you bought for it.
It's Christmas ones. And I got the Target peppermint. These little peppermint marshmallows. So I thought those were really cute s'mores to make, and I'll leave that stuff out with their little s'mores.
Peppermint marshmallows on my s'more? Get the fuck out of here. Now I'm just angry. Now I'm just angry. Are you beginning to understand why we were talking about her moral obligation to move her elf? She really has put a lot of responsibility on herself.
sticks. They have like little s'more sticks. I'll leave that all set up out with the, you know, how many s'more days on our board until Christmas, and then they can make s'mores that night with us at the fire. So I thought that would be fun.
One day s'more. Let's not bring Les Mis into this. Let's not.
And then, all right, you guys. So I'm going to show you the inspiration for this. I'm not quite sure yet if I'm going to build this thing or if I'm just going to leave the t-shirt now, because this picture that you're seeing right now is the...
Not Skibbity Rizmas. Not Skibbity Rizmas. What the Sigma? I'm gonna rage quit. I'm gonna rage quit.
Inspiration. And so I saw this, and when I first saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make this for the kids because this is hysterical, the kids with this Rizmas 6, 7 and all of their things. But then I found the t-shirts when I went to Kohl's. So this says Riz the season to be Sigma.
Oh, cut the cord. Cut the cord. I hope this kind of thing makes her and her family really happy. I wonder if it's because I grew up in a household where my mother was not super stoked on literally anything and that rubbed off on me, but this seems exhausting to me. My sister-in-law lives for this shit though, which is fun to see for her. Yeah, I mean, I think it's also like probably a matter of preference. I do enjoy the whimsy a little bit of like the idea of Elf on a Shelf. I do think that Kira a little bit leans into, oh, this is a reason for me to buy things for my kids, or just buy things in general. Like, you don't have to do all of this up.
And so that just matched so much what that board says. So I think I'm just gonna set the board up to what it says in the picture and then put them next to it and then leave these little t-shirts for the kids to wear to school the next day because this falls on a Sunday. And so they'll be able to have these shirts out. Each of the kids got one and then they'll be able to wear that to school that Monday. And I think the kids are gonna get such a kick out of it. Again.
Well, it's also that, Maya. I do wonder how much any parent, not just Kira, but any parent is doing this for the sake of, like, their own posting and stuff, you know? Like, I don't know, because I think my sister-in-law did do Elf on the Shelf stuff with my youngest nephews. I think my oldest nephew, it wasn't a thing yet. But I was just thinking, like, I couldn't tell you anything that she did with it because I don't know that I saw her posting about it that much. I think it was more so that, like, my nephews told me about it whenever I'd go visit for the holiday.
Franklin's going to be the coolest elf in town for getting them those shirts. So I think that's literally hysterical. And then this one said, hey, ask Siri if she believes in Santa. And so I did it, and it turned into this whole big thing, me and back and forth with Siri in the morning about whether or not she believes in Santa Claus. And so I'm just going to put the elves next to that board that says, hey, ask Siri if she believes in Santa Claus. And that'll be something we can have fun with in the morning while we're getting ready for school. So again, that's one of those like simple audible days. And then the next one, so same thing. We're going to use that trusty board. I told you guys we are going to get a lot of use out of this board. But I saw one on here that had a silly joke that said, what games do elves play after they eat Taco Bell? And it was fart night. And like, again, my kids and farts and all that, they're going to get such a kick out of it. And it's a Tuesday, a Taco Tuesday. So I got them a Taco Bell gift card. And we're just going to stick this in the little elves and they can get themselves Taco Bell that night. They like their little like freezies and stuff. So they can even just get it as like an after dinner snack.
Yes! Wait, Mona, Shay. We're gonna do Fart Night Friday. And we're all gonna get Taco Bell. We're gonna eat our Taco Bell and we're gonna play Fart Night. We got to. We got to. Fart Night jokes just work for her and her family. Clearly. Ooh, me throwing my salad finger around.
And then we can go and just get like a freeze and their little cinnamon donuts or whatever. But I thought it was hysterical, again, to do some kind of like joke on that board. with something that had to do with farts, because that's my kids. Okay, and then the next day is a Wednesday, and that leaves us at the 10th, which is my boy's birthday. So
kind of sad that she doesn't come up with any of her own ideas. Well, that's like also my whole thing about this is like, I get like using the resources you have available to you, right? Like nobody's asking for a mom to like come up with 100% original ideas for something like this. But it is one of those things where if I'm like watching somebody on YouTube for ideas and suggestions, like my thought would be that there would be some kind of original idea, you know? My sister-in-law did Elf on the Shelf for years with my nieces and nephews, but eventually my oldest niece was like, this elf just tells us we have to go bring things to the nursing home or drop off toys we don't use at the Goodwill. I hate it. And my sister-in-law was so upset. Happened over Christmas dinner too. Hilarious. That's crazy.
Last year, Franklin showed up in their room that they were sharing at the time on a Christmas tree. But now the kids have separated and they're in their own rooms, and Mason doesn't have a tree for his room. And so I thought it would be kind of fun for Mason to wake up in the morning and have a tree set up in his room that Franklin and Jax are on, wishing him a happy 12th birthday. I thought that would be kind of...
Why do they have to have... Why do they have to each have their own Christmas tree in their room?
So I did get this at the Dollar Tree. It's a 3.5-foot pre-lit green Christmas tree, and it was $10. So at least it's something we can use over and over again. And then I'm going to leave like little gift bags underneath the tree with some presents for Mason. And so I did get him like a couple of cake mixes. So I got these 2 cookie mixes. One is a sugar cookie and one is a hot cocoa cookie. And then I also got this marshmallow swirl brownie bar. I figured that would be like a bunch of little things I can leave underneath the tree for him to be.
I fucking love brownies, by the way. Personal pan Christmas tree is crazy. Yeah, I don't understand the concept of kids having their own Christmas tree in their room.
Able to do, and then I am just going to leave a Roblox gift card underneath there as
Let's
a little
go,
gift.
Roblox.
I don't have that here, but I'll pop up a little picture. I left that upstairs in my Kohl's bag, but I always feel bad that Mason gets a bunch of stuff because his birthday falls during this time. Maya doesn't get anything, so I got Maya this red and green bracelet from Kohl's, and I'm going to hang it off of the Christmas tree with a little note for Maya that said, like, we didn't forget you, and that's just a little red and green bracelet for her to be able to wear to school that day, but I just don't want her to feel like Mason gets all this stuff.
Sure.
I mean, she'll get to bake and enjoy the goodies, but she's not going to get the Roblox gift card or any of that, and I feel like she always kind of feels slighted during that time, so I try to include her for, you know, things like that. So I'll pop up that little picture for you guys to see. And then
yeah, it's crazy that she didn't think about getting V-Bucks for fart night.
and so this one is just inspiration. I don't have the peas, they're literally in my freezer, but this one said, I peed in your underwear, and you leave a pair of each of their underwears hanging with frozen peas in there. So each of them will be hanging in a pair of their underwear with peas all around them, and it says I peed in your underwear. Like, again, my kids are gonna go hysterical for that. So here are the Hershey Kisses that I got for...
That makes me uncomfy. That one makes me uncomfy. That makes me uncomfy. It's legit one kid's birthday. Teach the other that she's got to wait for her own birthday. I honestly was about to say something similar, Sampire, but I think I've told the story here on YouTube before, or Twitch before. But when I was a kid, my mom's side of the family is Catholic. But my mom stopped pretending to be Catholic when it came to baptizing me. So even my brother got baptized in the Catholic Church, but I didn't. And when we would go to my mom's side of the family for Christmas, everybody got one gift from our grandma. And then any other gifts that anybody got was from their godparents, if they had godparents. And me and my cousin Brittany were the only grandkids not baptized who didn't have godparents, and I did not understand it. I did not understand that as a kid. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. And I think to that extent, I can see a world where it's like, if these are gifts that are being brought to Mason by the elves and not like specifically from his parents for his birthday, I could see why it might be like, why did the elves bring him something and not me? I don't know. I know it's not the same, I know it's not the same thing, and to be honest, I think the first year that I had a meltdown about it, after that my mom would intentionally just like hold a present to give to me when we were at my grandma's, like one that she had bought. And then I think she would just like act like it was from one of my aunts or something. Because I don't think, to be fair to my mom, like I don't think she had considered that. I don't think she had considered any of that. Do you think that's why you're a homosexual now? Because you weren't baptized. That's probably it. That's probably how it happened. The holy water didn't cleanse me of my sins.
This inspiration, so I have Santa hat and hot cocoa kisses, and I saw this one where they had Franklin or the elf all wrapped up like in this little tinfoil, and it looked like a Hershey's kiss, and I thought that was kind of cute. I got these little Hershey kisses around, and I'm just gonna leave it and say, like, you know, sending kisses to you and your whole family. You know, this time of year we'll do something fun on the board, and we'll put these little Hershey kisses around. I thought that would be cute for the kids. And then this one is the washing machine face. Okay, this one I think I want to make so silly. So I bought construction paper, and I bought these little eyeballs from the Dollar Tree during Halloween time, and we are going to make this face. So I think this is, again, something that my kids are just going to think is so stinking funny, and I highly ever doubt they'll even look in the laundry room, because that is just not something that my kids ever look there, because they never go in the laundry room, because yeah, they're not big on the whole laundry thing. But I thought this was silly. I thought
they're not big on the whole laundry thing, as in they don't do laundry.
We could have a little bit of fun. There's just a little plane. I think I'm gonna like put paper all around the washing machine and kind of decorate it a little bit of a different way, but we are gonna use that as some inspiration for that. And then we're gonna do the mystery drink box. So this is super fun. I'm popping up this picture for you guys to see right now as well, but I think my kids again are gonna think that this whole idea of a mystery drink thing is hysterical. So you go ahead and put like different mystery drinks inside of these cups, and you only expose the straws, and then the kids are gonna have to take the challenge of, you know, sip and swish it around and write down what you think, you know, that it is. And so I'm kind of excited. I'm gonna do like pickle juice and like lime juice and some funny things, but then I'll also do like chocolate milk and eggnog maybe, something like that. So I'm excited to see like what fun things we can come up with there. Then I saw this one, and they're inside of the silverware drawer, and it says, how in the fork did Monday come so spoon? And I thought that was really, really silly. So I have it set up for the kids for a Monday. I think they will think, again, that is super, super silly.
No, y'all are so right, though. She has yet to be like, oh, this is an original idea I had on my own. Everything's been like, I saw this post, I saw this post, I saw this post.
And then the Happy Fishmas. So I'll show you the inspiration for that, but it's just the elves are going to be inside of our goldfish. I have the Parmesan goldfish, and then these goldfish in the red hot flavor, and you know, they will be the ones that they are.
You know what my ass misses? I can't even think of the flavor blasted goldfish that were pizza flavored. So good. So good.
Using for that Fishmas one. Then for the next one, we are going to do the bath, you filthy animal. So I always kind of do something where they're floating in the bathtub. We've gone to Kalahari and they've come with us, and they're always kind of floating in this little rafty thing in the sink. But I loved the inspiration from Home Alone when he says, keep the change, you filthy animal. I don't know, filthy automatically just means dirty right away, right? To my brain, right? And so every time I see something like that's bath related when it comes to one of these elves, I always think about that in my head. So I'm going to have the elves floating. I have two of these, so I'm gonna have them floating in their bathroom sink. And then Maya is going to get this face mask with this bath bomb. And then Mason is gonna get this face mask, this little reindeer one, with the hot cocoa Dr. Squash bath soap. And they're gonna be floating in there, and it's going to say, take a bath, you filthy animal. And this is the Thursday night before their last day of school before break, because my...
Is this the lady that's complained so much about the burden of all the elf shenanigans? Yes, allegedly. Yes, yeah.
Kids go on break. That's right. Where are we? We're at the 18th. That's right. The 18th, Friday the 18th is the kids' last day of school. Then they're off for the rest of December, and then they'll go back to the 6th of January. Wrap your head around that. That's right, folks. That's how we roll here in the South, and it blows my mind, because as a kid, I was never that privileged for the holiday time. So it makes me very sad. But they will need to be bathed and ready to go to school for their last day before break, when it's parties and all the things, and they gotta...
Is she mad? Is she mad that her kids get school off? I don't I don't understand. I don't understand.
Super snazzy, right? So they're going to bathe those filthy animals with their new soaps and face masks and all the things. And then when they go to school that next day, Franklin always wraps their lunch. So literally, I take every article down to their juice box, their fork, their napkin, their whatever it is that they need, and it gets.
Just to be clear. Well, first of all, it's Friday is the 19th because I just pulled up the calendar on my computer. Second of all, that really makes sense. It makes sense that they would have the full week off next week because Christmas Eve is the 24th. It's a Wednesday. And then New Year's Day is January 1st, which is a Thursday. So it makes sense to have those 2 full weeks off. And then why have them come back in on Friday when they could just come back in the next week on the 6th? I don't know.
It's wrapped and tied in a pretty little bow and put inside of their lunchbox. If you guys watch my lunch videos, you've seen that before in the past. If not, make sure you subscribe so you can see my Christmas lunches, because you will see that they're all wrapped up and the kids literally have to unwrap every single thing in their lunchbox to be able to eat it. And it's always a funny gag that my kids absolutely love, and it'll be the last year they get to indulge in that. So that is on the 18th. Here's the inspiration and more reason why I needed construction paper for where the pee goes. You do realize that it's only me and my daughter with a house full of guys. Goes. And really, I think maybe even Franklin needs to let them know where the pee actually goes. So that's for that. For the 20th,
that sounds like that's more for your adult husband and your adult live-in partner, Paul, than it is for the kids. What do you mean? The pee goes here. Okay, all right. Okay, Diva.
That is a Sunday, and I'm off on Sundays, and so I always do like something with donuts, because it says donut be naughty, donut be naughty, donut. I always say donut because I know that's the way that it's supposed to be. Donut be naughty. Right, there we go. So he's going to be in his little donut pajamas, and he's going to bring the kids some holiday donuts on that Sunday morning before Christmas. So that's kind of a tradition. And then if you guys saw my grocery hauls, I had shared this with you that I needed these like empty boxes for inspiration. So I have 2. I have this one, and then I have this one, but they're going to be wrapped up. I'm going to wrap them in that construction paper so you can't tell that they're these, but I'm popping up the inspiration for you for this, especially for us and the kids and football. Actually, I think that donut thing I need to move because I wanted the watching football elves to be on Sunday. I might have lost track of the days. I may need to rotate those. See, that's why I go through all this, because I needed to fit on the days, because here I'm popping up the inspiration for the watching football elves. When I saw this one, I was like, dang, some people are just so creative, and I thought this was hysterical. And
and some people are not you. No tea, no shade, Miss Kira, but you didn't creatively come up with a single one of these ideas yet. Do you think the anger from being a... Oh, I'm not gonna finish that. I have 2 kids and this video is going to give me a panic attack. Just know that you don't have to do this. How much you put into the elf on the shelf does not reflect on you as a parent.
Love how they use like the little empty pods from the coffee as their little night table stand and stuff. Like, I just thought that were so funny. And some of these things I have had pinned for so long, and I have just never done them. So I thought those would be really, really cute. I love that their little feet are in the marshmallows, and they're literally using those boxes as like a recliner chairs. So I thought those were so cute, and I'm going to recreate something along those lines. How many sleeps in candy? This is the one that gave me the inspiration for that. Super, super easy, and I don't even need to do a whole lot of candy because at this point it'll only be a couple of days before Christmas, and so we're just going to put that out, and then the kids can leave out this little candy in the candy bowls and stuff for whatever candy is left over. I bought like Hershey miniatures and more peppermint patties, and there'll be some of those Hershey Kisses left over, and that'll be more than enough candy. Like I said, it's not a lot of days.
How many sleeps in candy? It's not a lot. It doesn't matter how many days are left. It's not like you're putting out 20 pieces of candy. It looks like you're literally spelling out how many sleeps are left in candy. So you still might need a lot of candy to do that.
Me to use that Christmas candy to spell out how many more sleeps. And
I can't believe she's still yapping. Well, we're almost done. We've almost made it to the end, Diva.
And then, okay, so I did not grab it because it's in my cabinet, but I have a bottle of ginger, like, you know, regular ginger seasoning. And so I saw this as an inspiration where they literally have a bottle of ginger inside some folded pieces of bread. And they're talking about how they built them a gingerbread house, which I thought was so funny, but the kids will already be on break and we always do some kind of gingerbread house. So I picked this up for the kids. I had to return a pair of pants from Kohl's that Mason did not fit into, and they had this on the end cap and it was the same price of his pants that I was returning, and I was like, all right, I already spent the money, I'm just gonna return it and get this instead. And it's a village, there's 4 of them here, so we all can build one. And so I'm just going to have them leave this with a, you know, I made you a gingerbread house, here, now go make your own, and leave.
Yeah, the food waste is a little bit fascinating to me. Let's just hopefully they use the bread that they build the gingerbread house out of. Is she offering this as a course at her local community college?
That for them. So I thought the kids would enjoy that. And then that was the 23rd, so that'll be something for them to do the day before. And then on Christmas Eve, we're doing the retirement party. So for the retirement party, I'm actually going to print out every photo that I've taken on Instagram of all the years of him and his shenanigans. I'm going to print them out on 4x6 photos, and I'm going to use them on like clothesline, like the way I do my Christmas cards, and hang them up as streamers. This way, wherever you go in this living room or whatever, there's going to be clotheslines hanging everywhere with all these photos. So the entire living room is going to be just filled with the photos that I've taken of his shenanigans for each day. And we got little favors. So I bought things like this. So my husband picked up these. They're like those little light up spinny fans that have candy at the bottom. He saw these at the gas station, so he picked up 2 of those.
Okay.
And I saw these at the Dollar Tree. They were just little like elf pop-ups, and they have the little lollipop inside, so I got 2 of those. And we're just gonna put out these little favors on the table. We're just gonna have snacks, and we are inviting everybody over just to have appetizers. It's Christmas Eve anyways, and we're going to have a retirement party for him. He's going to bring a letter that day saying it's the last day that he's going to be there, that he'll be hosting a retirement party that everybody will show up at. Somewhere in this bin, I still have like one of these birthdays for Mason. I did like an elf on the shelf.
Did she do all of this for Jake? Girl, I don't know. I don't know if Jake was ever, while she was on YouTube, if Jake was of the age that he would have participated in this.
Birthday theme, and it had like paper plates and napkins and all that kind of stuff. And I have some left over. So we're just going to use the elf on the shelf, like paper plates and napkins, and we're going to have a small little party. And the next day, on Christmas Day, when the kids wake up, they're going to have presents left from them. So I'm going to take all those photos down that night, and I'm going to put them in a photo album for the kids. And I've already found a woman on Etsy who makes the most beautiful elf on the shelf ornaments. I'll link her like thing or whatever store in the description box for you guys to check her out. But I've already paid her, and I wrote her and I said, hey, I'm not gonna have the picture until the 13th, but like I need it in time. So if like I prepay you and I send you that picture right away, can we priority mail it? So I make sure that I get it by Christmas. And she said, yeah, she'll do it for me, you know, overnight. So we already communicated about that, but that's why I incorporated the take a selfie with your elfie.
That seems like she's gonna be set up to be upset. I already fear that she's gonna be upset that that's not gonna come in time, or something's not gonna happen right or correct.
So that I can get a picture, because she's going to make me an ornament that the kids will have for the rest of their lives. This way, the next morning when the kids wake up, they'll have a photo album with all of these pictures in it of all their years worth of shenanigans, and then this ornament for them to hang on the tree that kind of shows their memory of them throughout the years. And then that'll be it. And then we're gonna shut the doors on this chapter and be done with this elf on the shelf. Now, I love doing it for my kids, but as you can see, it takes a lot of work and time. I've been planning this for probably about 6 weeks now, like full-fledged planning. The ideas start to trickle in about August when I start getting into that mindset. But like mid-September, I start to panic, and by October, I'm buying things and getting things in motion and getting ready. And I'm always...
Yeah, I think I've seen more than one comment from people being like, oh, I hope this isn't a trend whenever my kids are old enough for this, or like blah 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 blah. And it's just like, you don't have to do all this, divas. Even if you want to have an elf, like, the original idea was just that the elf moved around your house. That really is all that it was. Like, you don't have to do all of this. It's not a reflection on you of being a good or bad parent. It's just absolutely not necessary. It just really isn't.
He's like looking for more inspiration, and my eye is always open, like, oh, that's for Franklin. And really don't even know what I'm going to do with myself next year, when I'm going to be completely detached from what I'm supposed to be doing all this time. But now, you guys, I have to go and clean up, because I had Daryl take the kids out of the house so I can get all this stuff out of the closet, set it all up, film it for you guys, which took me 3 rounds on my camera, since it only lets me film for 20 consecutive minutes.
Life is hard.
There's going to be quite a bunch of editing to pull this video off for you guys, but I need to hurry up and clean up before he texts me and tells me that he's on his way home.
It's also like, you don't have to retire the elf if this is something that you really truly love, diva.
not that far away, so my window, once he lets me know he's on his way, is small. But thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that we were able to be some inspiration for you. I hope that you were able to see how I plan for these things and how I purchase for them, how you can even see how I have this little list down below, and as I get it, it goes off the list, and when I still need it, it's listed down below, and this way I can always keep track of the things that I need. But again, I hope we were able to inspire you guys. I know that these family traditions have been really fun for us for almost the past decade, but I am looking forward to hanging up my elf hat and passing on that torch to you guys. So let me know in the comments below if you guys
passing on the torch. Passing on the torch. Don't you feel like that's a little much, Diva? What are you passing on the torch? You're not an Olympian. You're not an Olympic diva. You're sharing some Pinterest ideas you found respectfully.
Love my cream of wheat.
I was inspired to write my next paper, Elf on the Shelf and the Economy of Riz. Moral Performance in Late-Stage Capitalism.
Hot Cheeto Girly, thanks so much for the 100 bits. Is she done yet? Oh, Shay, thanks for the 100 bits as well.
Do Elf on the Shelf, and if we were able to inspire any of you, subscribe if you are new. Stay tuned for what's coming up next. So much, you guys. Love you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, she doesn't do there either. Okay, well, this could have been a Pinterest board. Honestly, truly, what it could have been is just go to her Instagram. She really does post every day what she does. Like, you really could just go to her Instagram and scroll through. I didn't need 43 minutes of her explaining that to me. I really didn't. Listen, though. I'm glad she's passionate about something. You know? Like, I appreciate that. I appreciate the passion. She's got a passion for fashion. Wait, where's the clip from yesterday, though? Where was the clip from yesterday? Was that in the Twitch stream? Because I just want to remind people. Where was that shared? Where did Colin share that? Not there. That's the wrong one. Not gay math. What is this? Instead of Elf on the Shelf, it's Rosie. What is this? It's Rosie on what? It's a Rosie on a pony? What is the rhyme? What's the rhyme? Instead of Elf on the Shelf, it's who? Rosie on a horsey? Rosie on a horsey doesn't rhyme. It does? It does not. Rosie on a pony doesn't rhyme. None of those. Do y'all know what rhyming means? What is this, Tregelia? What is this? Oh. Thank you.
Bad, but I think you guys can kind of tell, like, throughout the week, I can catch myself. I can see when I'm starting, like, to fall off track and not be able to keep my head focused and in the game. And I know it sounds silly, but right now, all of my focus and priority and effort is going to the elf.
All my... Okay, I was just looking for that inspiration. No, Rosie and horsey do not rhyme. I'm not gonna sit here and be gaslit. I refuse. Oh, look at the Christmas ducks. Okay, well, anyways. Anyways, they claimed it's Rosie on a horsey. That's not how rhyming works. You see, that's not how rhyming works. Anyways, bye YouTubies! Subscribe!